So
We are back.
yeah, we are back. Our phone died. So
This one.
journey with us is live. So, man, we was in deep conversation about this Ghana water crisis. Um, so
Yeah.
you know, I'm not sure how many people was
72 or something like that.
in the chat, but like say, did you find what you needed to find?
Yeah, it's all over.
It's
It's not
all
hidden
over.
at all. It's
Yeah.
available. The Ghana water crisis it's not a hidden thing because somebody in the chat was like, our water is fine. Stop it. Well, according
look,
to
yeah.
Google, it's not.
This was a
You see
month
all
ago,
this?
2 weeks ago,
2
a month
weeks ago.
ago.
This is a recent issue. And the Ghanaian scientist, it was a chemist that originally came out with it. He came to the national news and he was the first one to report, and he was begging Ghanaians. Because again, obviously the government doesn't want to get this out. This is how African governments work. Y'all be like, oh my gosh, but it's just colonial. Listen, let me tell y'all how the judgment of the Most High works. The Bible folks gonna understand this. Slavery and colonization does not just pop up and happen. There are particular sins and iniquities that have to happen pretty rampantly for the Most High to turn peoples over to the type of oppression that has happened in Africa. Now, Ghana, their government probably doesn't want this getting out because Ghana is basically the top gold producer. Ghana was doing so good. Ghana CD was doing great. Ghana's the place where the diaspora can come and just like feel safe. But despite that, whoever owns these mines, probably the Chinese most likely, made a deal, tapped some hands behind the scenes with some folks in the government, and they said, we may have, I don't know if they have rules with how they regulate mining. I would assume so. But a lot of times what will happen is they'll just pay a little extra and say, well, we want to keep mining no matter what. Because guess what? China needs gold. China is BRICS. China wants gold-backed currency. You're going to give it to us, right? And they'll be like, yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
If you about to pay me all that, yeah. And so all over, it's not, this is from 4 hours ago.
And I do want to say this.
All over.
I do want to say this.
It's not a conspiracy.
You have to look at it through a spiritual lens too, because it's right here in the physical right now. So always, when we're talking about this, we're not trying to down Ghana, but these things are happening that people need to be aware of.
Yeah.
So it's not like, we're looking it up right now. We're looking at it right now.
It's all over.
So, if you still want to go to Ghana, that's good. Still go.
No, be careful.
Yeah, be
Order
careful.
your water from Nigeria or Sierra Leone, because this is telling you it's not just lead. Listen to this. They said it's also the mercury poisoning, which causes neurological disorders. Now, I used to work on the neurology floor as a teenager and in my early 20s. I worked in neurology. And so when we talk about neurological disorders, we're talking about seizures, things that will start to look like mental health issues.
Yeah.
Okay? This is what Ghana is going to be dealing with and is already dealing with. Now, newsghana.com just reported 4 hours ago, for those that hate reading and hate research, I'm just reading. I like to read. That's it. I didn't come up with the story. The Ghanaians blew the whistle because they're like, we have to blow the whistle. They're going to just feel horrible inside if they're Ghanaian chemists testing this water and they're like, dang, it's 12 times the limit of lead that's supposed to be in here. It's 5 times the limit of mercury that's supposed to be in here. So you're going to have mercury poisoning, kidney disease, cancer and deformities. Y'all remember we would watch, or maybe y'all didn't watch it, but I used to love watching healthcare shows. And you would watch certain shows about like India, Indonesia, people that have like elephant ear syndromes, all these different types of things. This is how this stuff happens. It's a very serious thing. Okay? And so just newsghana.com, you can read it too. It's real simple. Look up Ghana water crisis lead mining. That's the key word I used. It's not hard. It ain't too hard. Especially a lot of y'all been to college. I know y'all got some key words up in there. I hope. Oh, mercury vapor 150 times above safe limit.
October 29th.
Not 2 times.
2025.
I don't know if y'all know, but October 29th is today. Mercury vapor is 150 times above the safe limit in these mining villages. Now, if you really do your research and you start listening to the Ghanaian chemists and Ghanaian scientists who are speaking about it, they said even though it's impacting these villages, it impacts Accra, Kumasi, Cape Coast, it affects all of Ghana. And the only solution, they said, this is coming from the Ghanaian chemist, he said the only solution is to import water from Nigeria and Sierra Leone. He said that's the only thing we can do. Now, this is just mercury. This also impacts your food in Ghana. Because guess what? Food comes out the ground. And food, that water deals with a lot of stuff, right? So the water is used to get to the food so the food can grow. So now you're eating mercury and lead every day. And you're like, everything's fine. Then 2-3 years from now, you start having seizures. Your toes start doing weird stuff. You feel like you're about to have strokes. You have kidney disease all of a sudden. You're like, what happened? You can't filter lead and mercury out of the water. They said the only solution is to import water. They said the devastation is too bad, okay? And so the Environmental Protection Agency by Pure Earth, I don't know where that's located. They must have come in the country, and it's 150 times higher than global safety limits. This is very, very sad. The mercury and other heavy metals impact assessment conducted between August 2024 and September 2025 covered Ashanti region, western eastern Savannah, central, and western north, and described the situation as an escalating environmental and health public emergency. At Wassa Kayanko, in the western region, mercury vapor averaged 1.84 micrograms per cubic meter, surpassing the global safety limit of 1 microgram per cubic meter by 84%. The highest reading recorded was 150.2 per cubic meter, indicating extreme exposure risk for residents. So this means that over time, because they conducted this study for about 24 months, and so over time it worsened. So you can imagine if they check back in 6 months and it is just continuing, okay? Dr. Esmond Wisdom Kwanzaa, he may have been the chemist that I listened to. I'm not sure. Country director of Pure Earth warned that gaseous mercury poses immediate danger because it is inhaled in the body. Oh, I didn't even know that. Wow. Stating mercury in a gas state is more deadly and can be instantaneous. Now, they're citing all of this is due to the mining that is happening. So somebody didn't keep the laws, the mining laws. Because I'm assuming they have mining. I'm pretty sure they have like mining laws. But a lot of times, if you choose corrupt African countries, you don't know behind the scenes people getting paid top dollar to break laws. This is why we say choose the least corrupt African countries. So Ghana in our 2026 State of the Diaspora has to be demoted because I cannot willingly tell people go to Ghana and then you come out with your finger missing in 3 years. Right? That's not like a good thing to do. The highest soil contamination reached 1,342 parts per million at Konongo, Zongo, representing more than 130 times. I thought I was going to say like 12 times or like 20 times, 130 times the internationally recognized safe limit. Other sites, including Prestia, Dakrupe, Kanogo, Ulumase, also showed contamination well above permissible levels. This should scare people that are in Ghana. This should scare Ghanaians. And I just feel bad for the Ghanaians that maybe they can't leave or anything. Maybe they could try moving to Nigeria.
And if you are
Sierra
in
Leone.
Ghana, let us know if people are talking about this. Because sometimes, you know, the local people and the people that's on the ground will know about this, but the people outside the country won't. They won't really be spreading the word.
The diaspora won't know. You gotta connect with locals.
If you are in Ghana, please let us know. Comment below and let us know, like, what's is this something that is being said, you know, on a daily basis, like, because this is serious.
Yeah, that's very serious. So food crops such as spinach and tomatoes, and again, this is coming from newsghana.com, so I know it's being spread through Ghana. It's just whether it's being spread through Americans or not. Ghanaians they know it's happening.
Yeah.
And so this is coming directly from News Ghana website. .gh means it's a Ghanaian government website. And so food recorded mercury levels between 0.101 milligrams per kilogram and 4 milligrams per kilogram within World Health Organization and food limits. However, Dr. Kwanzaa cautioned that without testing for methylmercury, the most toxic form, the real dietary risk may be underestimated. So the study also found lead and arsenic. Oh God, this is arsenic. Arsenic is what serial killers use to just poison. This is like lead and arsenic contamination threatening both soil and water quality. Water contains 0.47 milligrams per liter, far exceeding Ghana's drinking limit of 0.01 milligram per liter. Fish from Kanonganzango and Akwaboso in Central Region contain lead concentrations 2.8 milligrams per kilogram, surpassing the World Health Organization and Food and Agricultural Guideline. And so this is where you have like the super, I'm just saying not wise, because it's just not wise, people that think everything is colonizer. Everything isn't a white man that did. Everything isn't a colonizer. At some point, you got to take accountability. At some point, somebody has to say, okay, this has to stop at some rate. Because the Chinese know they can't do it in Mauritius. The Chinese know they can't do it in Botswana. The Chinese know they're probably not about to go do that in Namibia. The Chinese know where they can go and do super bribes and corruption. You think they don't know where they can do super bribes and corruption? And so a lot of the reason Africa is the way that it is today is because its leaders and its governments and its people. Soil arsenic. This is like scary. Soil arsenic? I've never heard of soil arsenic. Leave a comment down below if you know what arsenic is, okay? Soil arsenic levels reach 10,060 parts per million in some locations, more than 40 times the international guideline of 25 parts per million. Water samples from Kanogo, Adumase, Nyambekere, and Ankobra showed arsenic concentrations of 3.3 milligrams per liter, far above the World Health Organization limit. Yeah, that's very far above. It's about over 100% above. 0.01 milligrams per liter. Again, Dr. Kwanzaa, this is a Ghanaian chemist that cares enough about his people to warn them. He's basically telling them, unless you move or import your water from Nigeria and Sierra Leone, we are in big trouble. Big trouble. Our gardeners here, guys. My husband got to get the door. You'd be surprised much plants grow in a place that has like concrete everywhere. But Dr. Kwanzaa warned that exposure to mercury, lead, and arsenic can cause intelligence quotient loss in children, retardation. Neurological damage. Again, when we think neurological damage, I was telling y'all on the previous live, I used to work in neurology about a decade ago, okay? And in neurology, we deal with things like seizures, okay? This is neurological issues. It starts to deal with your brain, your neurons, your spinal function. It deals with all of that. Your neurology is one of the most important parts of your body, okay? Because your brain controls everything. Now, where was I? Neurological damage. Reproductive complications. Reproductive complications means now people are not able to have children, or they could be getting like some cancers down there and things of that nature. Kidney and liver failure. The kidney and the liver are vital organs. You know, I actually had an uncle that was born with one kidney, okay? He passed away, I think he was 43 years old, maybe 46 years old. Just so you understand, your kidneys, you're not gonna just live very long without your kidneys being functional. Your kidneys are one of the most important organs in your body. Listen, your girl loves anatomy, okay? Me and my son, we talk about it all the time. Your kidneys get all of the toxins out of your body through your urine. I know this sound like a science class. Y'all getting homeschool mom today, okay? But your kidneys are super, super important. And so if your kidneys stop functioning, I've literally seen my uncle like this. When his kidneys failed, you start to swell up and get really big because the fluid that should have been released in your urine is now all in your bloodstream, all in your body. Now you become septic. How do I know? I've watched it. I told you I used to be in healthcare 10 years ago. And I've also watched my uncle have this. And so that's just the reality of it. It's newsghana.com.gh. It just is what it is. And so he also says it causes liver failure and even death. So of course, if your organs start to fail, you are actually going to die. Because once you have organ failure, there's nothing else left. Once your kidneys shut down, your liver may shut down, then your heart is going to be too stressed, your brain could be too stressed. All these things happen and coincide with each other, okay? And he cited these findings by Pure Earth and the United Nations Children's Fund, linking chronic lead exposure to miscarriages and stillbirths. Whew, that's a lot. Dr. Kwan, and I'm probably butchering this man's name, Dr. Kwanzaa stressed that the report's aim is not to create fear, but rather urge authorities to act swiftly. This is a doctor, a Ghanaian doctor that cares about his people, okay? He wants to urge authorities. We don't have time. If we continue to let this go on, our children are going to come out with deformities. Our neighbors are going to start dying and having liver failure. People are going to have more kidney disease. While acknowledging ongoing government efforts, he called for faster policy reforms and stronger enforcement. He also encouraged the adoption of mercury-free mining technologies already implemented successfully in Peru, Colombia. I'm sorry, y'all, my door keeps closing. I have to lock it because the wind in Mauritius is a little crazy. Okay, I had to shut my door. But yes, so he says there are mercury-free mining technologies that have already been implemented successfully in Peru, Colombia, Indonesia, and the Philippines, okay? So he's saying, hey, we can try to find something to stop the mining equipment we have. I'm not sure why they would mine with mercury and arsenic and lead, but they do. And so now I gotta open the door for my husband. And so that's what they've been doing. They've been mining with the mercury, the arsenic, and the lead.
Sure.
All right. But yes, y'all, so that's what's happening in Ghana. And, you know, this was 4 hours ago, so this doctor is continuously publishing it. I first learned about it 2 months ago, so I was just, sitting on the story, okay, well, let me see what pans out. And it's hitting a lot of news all over the world now because, you know, this doctor's we need somebody to do something about this. You tired?
No, you know how you get up and do stuff when you're just chilling. That's how. It works.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, this is wild.
It's a lot.
That's why we say talk to the people that's on the ground because there's information out there that you will never think about. There's or things that is happening on the ground where you want to go that you will never think about. So that's why we say talk to people on the ground. Choose the right country because you don't have to deal with this stuff. This is why I say time after time after time, you really don't. I know there's a lot of people that deals with corruption and think the whole of Africa is just like that, and it's really not like that. That depends on your wisdom. That depends on your discernment.
Your choices, yeah.
Yeah, because it's everywhere is not really like that. Some African countries, they do take care of their country very well.
Yeah.
And it's a standard that, you know, other African countries have to live up to and come to conclusion with. But, you know, it comes down to your choice. If this is something that you want to do is move to Africa, talk to the people on the ground.
Yeah. And make it locals. And just, you know, these are, again, national news stories that you can just find available. And so this isn't secretive. It's just a real quick Google search and everybody in the chat already did it. They already see, oh, and you read the articles, you're like, arsenic. Oh, don't serial killers use arsenic? Okay, that's crazy. And then another website, forbiddenstories.org. Now, journalism, y'all know, or if you don't know, I'm a writer. So this is coming from journalists who feel like they could potentially be silenced or feel like the government doesn't want them to get this story out. It says, killing the journalist won't kill the story. Ghana, illegal gold poisons land and global supply chains. This is interesting because I didn't think that it would affect global supply chains. But let's see how it does, because I was hoping that like it would stay, and I hope it just should have never happened in the first place. But at least if it can be contained inside those borders and not seep into like Nigeria and the neighboring countries, because you're going to have issues with that as well. But it says, as its price reaches record highs fueled by geopolitical chaos, the gold production chain remains more opaque than ever between money laundering, black markets, and the mixing of gold as it leaves the mines. There is no way of knowing exactly where the gold melted into ingots and originates. This is how gold extracted from illegal mines in Ghana, which have devastated the forests and rivers, and as we're finding out, it's going to impact the food and the people, its way into the global circuit. Forbidden Stories investigation, in partnership with the Fourth Estate and the Reporters Collective, shows that dubious Ghanaian gold may be entering the supply chains of the world's largest companies, including Amazon, Tesla, Starbucks, and Xerox.
Yeah.
That's a lot, because we have been talking about how gold price, because we invest in gold, the price has increased over 4,000%. But on the flip side of that, just like in the Congo, you just have these like, whoever these crazy, it could be the Chinese, it could be the technocrats or whoever does this stuff and just doesn't care for humanity. Because literally the doctor, remember, we were just reading Dr. O, I'm gonna just call him Dr. O because I can't pronounce his name. We were reading Dr. O said in Indonesia, in Peru, in the Philippines, they have no issue. But in Ghana, they don't want to follow the rules. Now, isn't that strange? Now, in the eyes of investors, gold is shining brighter than ever, boosted by geopolitical tensions. The precious metal continues to break its own records, exceeding a price of $4,000. If you are invested in gold, you know it's a really great time. More than 3,400 euros per ounce. A lesser-known player in the global gold rush, Ghana, intends to take advantage of this windfall. So, on the outskirts of Kumasi, a major city that has become a key transit point for the region's gold, a wooden shack stands concealed in the yard of a large house, blocked off by a tall, unmarked black gate. It was the Forbidden Stories met with Jacob on a sweltering July day. Jacob, a man with sharp features, had come alone and agreed to speak only on the condition that his identity was protected. This is how precarious this situation is. This man said, I can't really come out like that because the people gonna know who I am, then they're gonna be mad at me, then they're gonna be trying to take me out. I can speak to you if you black out my face and hide my identity. This is a Ghanaian man, Jacob. What you think I was talking about?
What you talking about on this YouTube? Blacking out your face. Hold on. Wait a second.
No, Jacob the Ghanaian man, he agreed to tell what's happening in the gold mines, but he said you got black on my face because they gonna get me.
It's wild. But we're going to,
because you know,
guys,
in African villages, they try to get them.
We do got to, probably about like 10 more minutes.
Yeah.
Because the market is about to open up.
Oh.
And I need my phone. That's right here. We on my phone right now. Because the last live we did, we was on her phone. Because she just got the best phone, a better phone than me. So.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. You know you got the better phone.
Thank you.
But. Yeah, we're going to have to hurry it up. So any questions at all, let us know in the chat, because we are about to end the live maybe in like 10 minutes. So this is crazy. That's why we say check out what we, the community that we are building, like whatever that we are really trying to tell people, like it's certain information that a lot of people don't know.
Yeah,
like
research.
We hear this because I think we heard this a couple months ago, but I don't think it was like that big of a deal. But once you really start to look into this,
you gotta go down.
This is like
hole.
whoa. This is like it's for us. It's more spiritual. You gotta see the spiritual lens of what's happening in the physical. Always. So it's not like we trying to bash Ghana. We just following what the Most High is telling us to look at, and to warn the audience, that the people that's watching.
Yeah, I think if anybody's mad that you're telling people don't take poison, that person could be infiltrated by demons. Because you literally, if somebody's about to drink arsenic, I would hope that somebody would snatch my hand and be like, don't drink that arsenic, hold on. Because it's just really serious. But again, reading forbiddenstories.org, they're calling it a deadly cocktail of pollutants. So again, this is coming straight from Kumasi, and the actual Ghanaian man, Jacob, he said, again, black out my face, I'll tell you what's happening, but you gotta black out my face because these people gonna try to do something to me. A 2-hour drive down a dirt road southwest of Kumasi leads to Manso Nankwanta, a town where conflicts of interest and gold are on full display. A tall man with a deep voice works for the Amansi West District Assembly. He showed Forbidden Stories an illegal mine that had sprung up on the edge of the village. It's illegal, so whoever, I'm assuming it's the Chinese, I could be wrong, I don't want to just pin everything on the Chinese, it may not be them, I'm not sure. Whoever it is that funded it and started it, it's an illegal mine.
It's greed.
There was a house here where
is.
their mine now is, and the forest came all the way to here, he said, pointing to the muddy ground beneath his feet. His gaze sweeping across the mine, which measures over 600 meters and 2 kilometers long. In place of trees, a string of trenches, some filled with water, now riddles the red soil, connected by paths of heavy machinery. And they're saying the blurring lines between legal and illegal mining and their revenues have become normalized in the Ashanti region. On the road leading out to the village, several real estate projects funded by illegal miners, wow, I had no idea they did all that, are evidence of money laundering in the area. Wow. Miners are investing their money in the local community, trying to clean their money. This is too much. This is like crazy, y'all. Wow, that's a lot. These mines have scarred the landscape, but they also poison the earth. The epicenter of gold production, Ghana, where we went, pollution from mining has reached alarming levels. A lethal mix of what same chemicals we're seeing, second witness, mercury, arsenic, and lead. Now, I don't know, maybe some people, if you want to drink mercury, arsenic, and lead, that's your prerogative. Me personally, I've worked in neurology. I would never risk my children developing seizures. I would never risk myself developing a seizure, developing kidney failure, any of these things, because it probably won't taste different, or maybe it does, but it's a silent killer. You know, your kidneys just a couple years later, they start failing. Mm-hmm. Now your brain isn't functioning. Now you start having seizures, okay? Now this one says arsenic levels in the soil exceed recommended limits by a whopping 4,265%. I'm gonna leave these articles down below. It's real simple, it's not hard. Yeah. On the ground, 70% of villagers living near mines consume surface water contaminated with toxic substances. Gold miners and community residents are at risk of suffering from kidney problems, respiratory illnesses, and metabolic disorders. Your metabolism, the homeostasis, the balance of your body gets out of whack because your body has to be in a balanced state at all times. All these heavy metals going in our rivers are being accumulated in the fish we eat and the water we use to irrigate our veggies and our food crops, says another Ghanaian, Daryl Bosu, from the environmental NGO A Roka Ghana. In 10 to 15 years, I'm afraid we might not have any forests left. I'm gonna leave these articles below. I'm done reading it because I'm a little bit out of breath, okay? But that's really scary. It's really sad for the Ghanaians that won't be able to move to a Nigeria or a Sierra Leone, or don't have the money to import water from Nigeria or Sierra Leone. Maybe an American going over, they can pay the fees to import water from Nigeria or these other areas, but a lot of Ghanaians are not going to be able to afford that.
Yeah, it's just going to affect a lot of people because it's they're to have these mines run. There's local people doing the work.
Yeah.
So if they stop that, it's like, yeah,
it's too much.
It's a lot. It's a lot that's happening. So.
And they're cleaning the illegal mine money with real estate development.
Just be careful.
I'm gonna leave these articles down below. Shalom, shalom. See y'all in the next video. We didn't know we were gonna be on 2 lives, but that story was just like, woo, that's too much.
Yeah, for sure.
That's,
I'm not sure what
we didn't
happened
know
to the
about
last
that.
live. That was pretty good too.
My phone died.
Yeah, it died, but I don't know if it's uploaded or not.
Oh no, it doesn't show up till tomorrow.
Really? Because
Yeah.
it died?
No, because when oh, you think it disappeared?
I don't know. Well, maybe
I don't think it
because
disappeared.
we was on here or something.
When I'm in the studio, it doesn't even show up till like tomorrow.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see none of your lives till the next day.
I'll be seeing it on our page.
Oh, I don't never see it.
Because you ain't looking hard enough.
No, I do look, and it's not there.
Sometimes just make sure you look hard enough, guys, and then you will find what you need to find. Okay.
Funny.
So, all praise to the Most High, guys. Thanks for tuning in. We're probably gonna change the title of this because we just hopped on this because we wanted to continue the last live. The phone died. So thanks for tuning in, guys. Thanks for liking the video. Thanks for commenting. And just make sure you check the links in the description when we put it in there pretty soon. So, all praise to the Most High. We'll talk to you guys later. If you are an investor or a trader, the market's about to open. It's some big news that's happening today. It's some big news that's happening a little bit later. So, hope you make some money today. So, yes.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, guys.